Hello, everyone, and welcome back to DSP versus the Internet, episode 34 for Sunday, the 8th of October, 2023. We're still amidst the Ultra member videos. Thank you to everyone chilling here with me and people who've supported the stream. Thanks so much. Remember, the best way to support this channel is becoming a member or supporting the stream. So thanks to those who have, and let's continue on with the next Ultra member video. That's not allowed, so I'll give you a perfect example. So what this is, supposedly this is a video, we're not watching all 11 minutes of it. It's a compilation of me laughing and talking about people saying I sound like a certain level of laugh. We'll watch it and see what it is, because I don't really know. This is from years ago. Look at this when I used to run this fan art. Before I even did the podcast, when I would just talk with the fan art running. Remember this? Okay. There's this stupid meme that my laugh sounds like ack, ack, ack. Now, ladies and gentlemen, when I laugh, do I say ack, 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 ack? No, I don't. No, I don't. I say, ha, 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 ha. Or, you know, or little things like that. It depends on what's going on in the game. But I never say ack, ack, ack. I've never said it once ever. Boom! So it was ha 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 ha. Correct? That's what it just was. Ha 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 ha. Okay?
Oh my god!
Ha ha ha. So I'll agree I have a distinctive laugh for sure. And it's kind of funny, it's over the top. But it's definitely not ack. It's ha 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 really loud, right? It almost sounds like when you slow it down, it does sound like the count from Sesame Street, for sure.
Yeah.
Ha 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 ha. Again, it's like the count from Sesame Street. That's what it sounds like to me. Right? To me, when you hear ack, 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 okay, that sounds like did you ever see the movie Mars Attacks? Literally those aliens like ack, 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 ack. Like, that's what they're actually saying. That's how their dialogue. So, again, what this is, all right? By the way, again, I'm not disagreeing that I don't have a distinct and funny and weird laugh. What I say is these people, they take a meme, right? And they literally sit there and they repeat the meme over and over to the point where now, through groupthink mentality, that meme is true, even if it's not. Like, we're listening right now to evidence that I don't laugh saying ack, ack, ack. It doesn't happen. But right now, I'm not kidding you. There's actual idiots in my stream chat saying, yes, it's ack. It's like, are you deaf? Listen to the laughs. This is a laugh compilation that doesn't sound like what you're saying it sounds like. Ha 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 ha. Where's the K sound? There's no k in there. There's not a single k to complete what the meme that you're saying. And I guess it's a moot point, because who cares? That's really the big thing. Who cares? Does it really matter how I sound when I laugh? Not really. The funny part is that I have a distinct laugh. I will agree, this montage is showing I have a really silly, over-the-top laugh when I'm, you know, laughing hard. In fact, yeah. Not once. Yeah. So it's yeah, literally not once. Literally not once has that happened. By the way, it's funny because his original source, Mighty D. No, this is my video. The original source was not Mighty D. It's my fucking video. Look, it's my raw video. Why would you say original source Mighty D? How about original source Dark Side Phil ripped off of his channel? What are you talking about? No, they're not the original fucking source, you idiot. Completely fabricated meme from detractors making you say, oh, he sounds like an asshole. Listen to this ack, ack, ack. It doesn't sound like that at all. Look at this. Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Do we even have to watch the rest of this? I mean, we'll watch a little more, but the video proves the point. The only people who would think that it sounds like that are people who are so brainwashed by this cultish, weird, meme-ish mentality to try to make fun of something that you just believe it. Even though the evidence is in front of your face that it's not true, you still believe it because you're stupid. You understand you have to be weak-willed and weak-minded to have a groupthink belief that's not true. You understand that, right? Like, I wonder if these people truly get that. Maybe they don't. I think they just don't understand that. They actually think that, like, this is true, and because they just keep saying it over and over, that it exists. It's like someone just said, like, the Mandela effect. Like, maybe, right? Yeah, I think so. Oh, this is where I fucked
shit,
everything.
look at
Look at this.
What the fuck? Look what I did!
Stop doing it. Oh my god. Original source, The King of Crybabies HD. No, the original source is DSP Gaming. Look, it even fucking says it. In the bottom left-hand corner of the screen is my fucking watermark. It's from me. It's not from the King of Crybabies HD. They stole my content, and this idiot is crediting people who stole it from my channel because they're a moron. If you made this video, you're a fucking moron. Congratulations. You just proven you're a fucking idiot. You can't even credit the stuff right. You're a complete moron. All right, I'm done watching that shit. Let's continue. This is supposed to be horror, I believe. A horror story. So this will be good. A short horror story. Pictured short horror. It's only 3.5 minutes. All right, let's see what this is. Is someone typing? Whoa. Someone knocked over a potted plant. Yeah, look. Who did that? Oh shit, the girl in the picture changed. Did you see? She's facing a different direction now. Look. Okay, so if you had a picture in your house like that, first of all, why? I guess she's a writer, so she has weird shit in her house. I guess some writers keep weird stuff in their homes for inspiration. I've actually heard of that. And you had a picture, and you blatantly looked at the picture, and you noticed that the person in the picture moved like that. Would you leave it on the wall and go, huh? Or would you take it off the wall and throw it out? Like, toss it right the fuck out of your house, right? Like, chuck it. Like, fuck this. I'm not fucking with this stuff, right? What now? I mean, we know the picture's gonna be different, but... God, now she's not even in the picture. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. She's coming for you. She's gonna put you in the picture. Why are you looking at yourself in the mirror? Now she's back in the picture. But now she's facing away. Oh, let's just keep looking at the picture. Oh, this is a good idea. She totally won't come for you right now. Why would you keep doing that? Why would you keep doing that? You fucking idiot. Why would you do this? Don't cover your eyes. Oh my god. I told you she was going to be in the picture. Did I not say that? Did I literally not say she'd be trapped in the picture? She has a... I know it's a movie, but I am the kind of person who screams at horror movies. When you watch a horror movie and like someone's a complete idiot, like, why are you doing that? No, stop doing that. What? But that's part of the fun of horror movies and horror shorts is that people always do the stupid thing, right? They always do the nonsensical thing. Like, okay, the first 3 times I did this, the picture changed. Should I stop doing that, or should I do it again and see what happens? Keep testing my luck, right? All right. Anyway, that was pretty cool. Now, for the record, I already know this video. Someone nominated it as an Ultra member video from 8 years ago. I know exactly what this is. So when Mortal Kombat 10 came out, this was when, around the time when a lot of top FGC people started streaming and doing this kind of content now. But at one point they weren't, all right? So, infamously, Justin Wong was streaming. This is like the launch day of Mortal Kombat 10. And he basically is streaming. And he's playing someone who obviously is not good at the game. And he just goes crazy. Watch this. Like, watch this match.
We got a talker. We got a talker.
Hi.
Oh, shit.
Hi, bud.
Oh,
Can you
fuck.
talk to me?
Oh, my
That
God.
was so easy on you, okay? I'm new.
This is Cameron in the bottom left. See, it's a little kid.
So I'm new. So
He's playing a little kid.
I don't have that many. Why are you picking Jack? I want to be Jack too. No, I want to be Liu Kang.
The kid won't stop talking. He's just like gabbing. Blah, 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 blah.
Okay.
By the way, so this was the Mortal Kombat where you could pick different versions of the characters, which was kind of interesting. Like, you could have a Liu Kang that has 2 different versions, and they're played completely differently. That was a pretty interesting concept for the game.
My son? No? Or are you in a party?
He's still talking. This kid is just not
Aw,
shutting
you're
up.
winning.
Justin is completely silent.
Can you please use it? Yeah, I'm new to the game. You just go easy on me.
Welcome to the-
I'm new to the game.
Welcome to the real world! Welcome to the real world!
Okay, that's a cheat move. That's a cheat move.
Welcome to the real world! Time to learn! You gonna learn today!
Yeah, it's so fucked up. It's the most fucked up clip. He's playing like a kid, a child who obviously doesn't even know how to play the game, and he's talking shit to this child and hitting him with bazooka blasts.
It's a cheat move.
You gonna learn today!
No, you're using a cheat move.
You're using a cheap move. You hear the kid? This poor kid is being bullied by Justin Wong live on stream.
No, you're cheating.
You're gonna learn! This is the real world! You learn it early, son!
That's all you ever
Wow.
do now? I'm done playing now. You're a freaking jerk. All you keep doing is that. That's freaking not fair. That's all you're gonna do.
I remember like people took this totally different way. Some people found this clip absolutely hilarious, and some people were like, "Wow, what a toxic asshole that Justin Wong would just bully this kid because obviously he's a little kid. He doesn't even know how to play the game, and you just keep doing it." Like, and he took such like pleasure in doing it, right? He's like, "Oh, you're gonna learn. You're gonna learn." Like, you know what I mean? So, I mean, here's the thing. Back in the day, I can comment on this fairly because I was there. Back in the day in arcades, this is literally what you had to put up with. Really. Like, when you go to arcade and you're trying to learn how to play a game, you get your ass bullied. Really. You're like, who do you think you are? I'm the king of the cabinet, right? You know? And then you just get your ass whooped. And that's what it was like back then. You know? So I think what it is kind of like that arcade days mentality being brought over to the online world. You know what I'm saying? Like, for all, you might see this as an outsider and watch it and be like, oh my God, Justin Wong is a fucking asshole. This is obviously a small kid. And he's just beating the shit out of him and talking shit to the kid. Like, what's the point of that? Wow, what a welcoming community the fighting game community is, right? But you gotta understand, back in the day, it was, you know, I hate to say it, like people say it was like a locker room mentality. That's like the best way to describe it. Arcades were like a locker room of a fucking football team. And People constantly talk shit to each other. People constantly threatened each other. I mean, I'm not saying anything ever really came of it. I remember, so I was like probably like, in my teens, young teens. And there used to be this guy who was twice my size. All right. He was in his like mid to late 20s. And he was into like construction work. And his name, I remember him. And he was always a Zangief player. He loved playing with Zangief. And this one day, here I am, this teenager, and I beat him. And you want to know what he did? He picked me up. And he turned me upside down. And he said that he was going to tombstone pile drive me onto the arcade floor. Now, he didn't do it. He was just, he was joshing around. But I mean, today, to just pick someone up and pick them upside down without their permission. You know what I'm saying? That's how it was back then. So, I kind of get it. I mean, you could see this from so many different perspectives, this clip. Like, I wonder today if Justin, if someone were to ask him, what do you think about this clip 8 years later? Would he be like, oh, that's no big deal. It's just that's fighting game stuff. Or he'd be like, you know what? All right, I was kind of, getting into streaming back then. I got too excited. I shouldn't have done that to the kid. I'm curious. Because some people would look at this video and see it as very toxic and be like, wow, that's the fighting game community. People trying to learn the game as a kid on the mic. And you start talking shit and you really, you fuck with them. That's messed up. And others would be like, nah, that's his initiation. If he wants to play fighting games, he has to be used to this kind of shit. Right? Anyway, I don't know. Let's, but anyway, I remember the clip. I remember when this happened 8 years ago. People sent this to me and stuff to watch. So, all right. Let's continue, shall we? All right. Now, this one is my own clip from, yes, 13 to 14 years ago. My Halloween special promo straight from my original channel. So, I wanted to do a Halloween special in 2010, but I wanted to do something a little different. Rather than something that was just like a mainstream game, I wanted to play like a throwback retro game. And I wanted to hype it up. I had actually just played Heavy Rain. And I had found out that the game they made before that was called Fahrenheit or Indigo Prophecy. And so I had actually played the game early. Fully filmed the playthrough. It was ready to go. It was actually my first ever video series that I did earlier, and I actually had preloaded, and I had published it or scheduled it to go live on Halloween. And so this was the promo that I made to hype up my Halloween playthrough that will go fully live on Halloween. Okay? Here we go.
October 31st, 2010, a story will begin. A man possessed.
Great graphics.
Acting against his own will. A murder most foul. A man on the run from the law.
Pretty good promo for this playthrough.
Two unique detectives. In over their heads. Unnatural powers. A creepy old Chinese guy. A Hannibal Lecter wannabe.
He blatantly is a Hannibal Lecter wannabe. Look, the same character.
The world's worst case of head lice. And a horny old woman. But this is no normal Let's Play, thanks to one thing.
DSP. Oh yeah. Look at that, they did gangbanger, look. Oh my god, it's Scottie Pippen Slam City all over again. And I heard they had big bed bugs in New York, but this is ridiculous. Fuck you, the rookie was better than Angels in the outfield. Oh my god, you're kidding. He Matrix dodges the bullet. Oh, he double Matrix.
I get the feeling you're hiding something from me on this case.
You never sucked my dick. Now is your chance before we break up.
Oh my god, my old commentary was so bad. See, like I watch this now, but I laugh at how cringe it was. That's not funny. That's just so bad. People, 13 years ago, this was YouTube. This was typical what people wanted on YouTube. My audience was mainly teenagers. And this is the kind of shit that they wanted. They wanted that ridiculous commentary. They found it entertaining. Today, I'm like, oh my god. Like, I know every other word out of my mouth is going to be something sexual. Because that's how it was back then. That's what people wanted, you know?
Best fight scene ever. He's gonna throw a Hadouken. He is gonna throw a Hadouken. Look at this shit. I'm charging my bricks, son. Charging the bricks. Oh, he says I fucking ninja punch the bricks.
Oh my god, this shit. Oh my god. Yes, this is in the game. This is part of the game. It's funny because it looks like you're playing Simon, right? Like those motions, it looks like you're pressing the buttons on a Simon thing.
October 31st, midnight Eastern time.
So, yeah, for the first time ever, what I did is I had made it so that on Halloween Day, the entirety of the playthrough would go live on DSP Gaming. Excuse me, on Darkside Phil. That was before, no, wait, it was on DSP Gaming, was it not? I think that was the promo. I put it on Darkside Phil, but the videos were on DSP Gaming, if I remember correctly. All right. So, yeah, if I remember, I'm trying to remember specifically what the circumstance was, but, no, but the thing was that it was a huge flop at first. And you might say, well, why was that a flop? It's like you actually did a big promo to advertise like your Halloween event. Why would that have been a flop? Because no one back then was actually looking at videos that were like published ahead of time and then scheduled to go live. Everyone, like, for some reason, when you did videos like that back then, they wouldn't show up the same way. So what happened was all those videos went live. It was a full playthrough. And I was thinking, oh, this will do really well. Like, on Halloween, everyone will watch it because everyone got hyped for it. No one knew it went live. People actually told me they had no clue that the playthrough had gone live at all. They couldn't find the videos. I was like, but they're right there on the channel. They were like, yeah, I guess if you were subscribed to the channel, and back then, if you had scheduled videos to go live ahead of time, they wouldn't go to a subscriber feed. And most people didn't go to your channel to check your videos. They would just check their subscriber feeds. So no one knew the playthrough went live, and people were very disappointed. They thought that, oh, Phil screwed it up or something. I was like, no, the whole playthrough's live. So initially, that playthrough didn't do well. Over time, it did well. But I was very disappointed that at the time that people like didn't know. I mean, I worked so hard on that promo and everything, and to get the whole playthrough done early, you know, and that actually disappointed me. So, all right. So we have another video here. For what I'm to understand, this is another inspirational video from Jordan Peterson, and the person who submitted it wanted me to watch it to the end, but it's 7 minutes long. So I almost feel like I should like skip to the middle, but I don't know where they are. That person said they were going to be here today, and now I don't see them. Are they here? Excuse me. I feel like we should start watching around like the 3-minute mark, because it's so long, you know? Okay.
There is no more effective way of operating in the world than to conceptualize the highest good that you can and then strive to attain it. There's no more practical pathway to the kind of success that you could have if you actually knew what success was. And so that's what this sermon is attempting to posit. It's like in the story of Pinocchio. Geppetto wishes on a star. We talked about that a little bit. And so what Geppetto does is
How pertinent that we're playing Lies of P and he's making a reference to Pinocchio right now, right? Okay.
in himself the metaphorical manifestation of the highest good he can conceptualize. He makes a commitment, let's say. He aims at the star, and for him the star is the possibility that he can take his creation, a puppet, right, whose strings are being pulled by unseen forces, and have it transform into something that's autonomous and real. Well, that's a hell of an ambition. You know, and we're wise enough to put that in a children's movie, but too foolish to understand what it means. It's such an interesting juxtaposition that we can both know that and not know it at the same time. You can go to the movie, you can watch it, and it makes sense, but that doesn't mean that you can go home and think, well, I know what that meant. Well, people are complicated, right? We exist at different levels, and all the levels don't communicate with one another. But the movie is a hypothesis, and the hypothesis is there's no better pathway to self-realization and the ennoblement of being than to posit the highest good that you can conceive of and commit yourself to it.
So I guess what he's saying is, for Geppetto, the highest good was that he could be a father again. Because remember, in the story of Pinocchio, Geppetto lost his son, and he's lost in his ways, like he's a toy maker or whatever, but he, you know, not being a father anymore, he's like, I really wish that my creation could become a real boy, because I feel like his greatest good was in being a dad. I guess that's what he's saying. I think, however, I do think it's funny because he says stuff like, oh, you know, it was put in a children's movie, and, you know, it's a good place to put it, you know, people learn the lesson. Absolutely no one who watches Pinocchio understood the metaphysical lessons of that movie. There's a ton of stuff in it. Remember when the kids go to, at the end of it, they go to the pleasure island or whatever, and they're smoking and drinking, and they're turning into donkeys and stuff. Like, there's very complex themes in Pinocchio, because based on a story that's very complex and dark. And I think most people who saw the movie just saw it as like a frivolous children's movie and didn't really understand the big stuff that was going down, you know, morally and stuff in it.
And then you might also ask yourself, and this is definitely worth asking, is do you really have anything better to do? And if you don't, well, why would you do anything else? Therefore, take no thought for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. I spent a long time trying to figure out what that meant too, because it's another one of those lines that can easily be read as pro-grasshopper and anti-ant. You know, you remember the old fable of the grasshopper and the ant?
No.
Maybe not.
No, I don't.
The ant works and the grasshopper fiddles, and the ant has a pretty good time in the winter and the grasshopper dies. And so this is like a pro-grasshopper line, but it's not, because it says something else. It says that if you orient yourself properly and then pay attention to what you do every day, that works. I actually think that that's in accordance with what we have come to understand about human perception, because what happens is that the world shifts itself around your aim, because you're a creature that has an aim. You have to have an aim in order to do something. You're an aiming creature. You look at a point and you move towards it. It's built right into you. And so you have an aim. Well, let's say your aim is the highest possible aim. Well, then
I think honestly, he totally 100% assumes things that aren't true. I think there's tons of people on this planet that don't have any aim at all. They just exist to exist. They don't really, I mean, sure, there's things they would like, but unlike, like he's saying, every day, go for the highest possible good, aim for it, right? I'm pretty sure there's tons of people on this planet that don't do that. I get up, what do I do today? Well, am I working today? No. So what do? I mull about the house, I turn on the TV, I go on the internet and I fuck around. You know, there's tons of people on Earth that don't think about big philosophical things like the greatest good or the aim of my life and the aim of my day. They just mull through it, you know. Very little conscious, intelligent thought for a lot of people. So I think that he kind of, I mean, what he's saying, the stuff he talks about, in some cases could be very pertinent to certain people in certain times of their lives. You know, you can like interpret what he's saying, and, oh, wow, that applies to me, what he's saying, maybe if I listen, you know. But at the same time, when he says things like that, you know, oh, you can't do anything without aim. Oh, you could. You absolutely could. It's just that, you know, you're just like the people who go through life just not even realizing what's happening around them. How many people just, in the United States particularly, you know, they just go through life bare minimum of anything. No effort, no anything. I just exist. I'm still alive today, right? Somehow I got fed. You know, bills got paid. Lights are still on. Nothing productive or any meaning was done. That was my existence for today. I think a lot of people go through life like that, quite frankly. It's sad, but it's probably true.
So that sets up the world around you. It organizes all of your perceptions. It organizes what you see and you don't see. It organizes your emotions and your motivations. So you organize yourself around that aim, and then what happens is the day manifests itself as a set of challenges and problems, and if you solve them properly, then you stay on the pathway towards that aim. And you can concentrate on the day. And so that way you get to have your cake and eat it too, because you can point into the distance, the far distance, and you can live in the day. And it seems to me that that makes every moment of the day supercharged with meaning, because if everything that you're doing every day is related to the highest possible aim that you can conceptualize, well, that's the very definition of the meaning that would sustain you in your life.
And that does make sense. If you have an end goal of something that's the greatest thing you can imagine for yourself or your family or whoever, and that's your aim, then everything you do in your day is working towards that, and everything has meaning. And just like we talked about last week when we watched a Jordan Peterson clip, I think a lot of people, again, most of the things they do in life, they don't have meaning, or they don't believe they have meaning. So to them, it doesn't matter what I do. Everything's just a joke. Everything's, meaningless. So I'll hurt whoever I want. I'll do whatever I want. Who gives a shit, right? But what he's saying is, no, everything should have meaning. Everything you're doing should be constructive. Everything you do should work towards a greater good, or the greatest possible good that you can imagine. And if that's the case, then everything's important, and you'll never think that something you do is just worthless or meaningless. I get that. Sadly, again, I don't think a lot of people live their lives like that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't believe that. I believe that a lot of people just go through life to exist, to get by. They don't have this higher level of thought that he's conceptualizing. A lot of people should or have. I don't think they ever get that. A lot of people probably don't even have the means to do that. They've never had someone talk to them about this kind of stuff, so they don't even think about, you know what I'm saying? I don't even think they think about that stuff at all, or they never have. They don't even understand that level of thought exists.
Well,
right?
And then the issue is, well, back to Noah. Well, all hell's about to break loose and chaos is coming. It's like when that's happening in your life, you might want to be doing something that you regard as truly worthwhile, because that's what will keep you afloat when everything is flooded. And you don't want to wait until the flood comes to start doing that, because if your ark's half built and you don't know how to captain it, the probability is very high that you'll drown.
Yeah, but at the same time, I understand what he's saying, but I disagree with it, because I can talk about my own personal life experience, and we'll move on because we've got a lot more clips to get to. But for example, if everything you're doing in your life is working towards this greatest good that you're thinking of, right? Like for me, right now, if you were to ask me, like, what's something that I have as a goal for me and my family, I would like for us to be able to do some improvements to the house. There's things in this house that are broken. I have a whole bathroom that's busted, all right? I can't use the shower. I can't use the toilet. The whole fucking bathroom's destroyed. And it totally needs to be redone from the ground up. It has to. Like, it's old, and there's no way I could just do, like, superficial fixes. I want to fix that. And my wife and I have agreed this is a project we would absolutely like to do for our family, okay? So, how do we get to that end goal? Well, basically, trying to be financially responsible. And for us, it was basically getting out of the bad financial situation that I was in. Several years ago, I was bankruptcy, all right? Awful. So no thoughts of anything, being able to do anything with this house, because I had no money, nothing, right? But now we're years removed from that. And the goal was, if I stay on the course and, I tough out these tougher years, we'll get to the point where now things are better, and I'll be able to maybe do more things flexibly and be able to do things with the house. Ultimately, our goal was we wanted to do something with, like, refinancing, like maybe refinance the house, because we have tons of equity in this house, and be able to refinance and then get some money out so we could renovate the house, right? Like, that would be great. Renovate this broken bathroom, renovate a kitchen where the cabinets are falling off. I'm serious. We have a whole cabinet. The whole thing came off. All this stuff. And then what happens? We're working hard, right? We're staying the course. We're toughing it out. And then what happens is the world around you changes. So what's happened in the last 2-3 years? Inflation. The Fed raising interest rates so goddamn high that there's no way you can refinance. If I were to refinance my home, I would lose money, because the interest rate is so much higher now than it used to be years ago when I actually bought this house 9 years ago. So there's my plan. There's my good, right? Here's what I want to do with my life, and I'm doing everything that I can do to work towards it, to try, I'm going to stop making, bad decisions financially. I'm going to stop, we're going to cut back on this. We're going to do this right thing. We're going to, tough it out. And hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And, there is that we went through the bankruptcy and things are looking better, as tough as it's been with all the drama and shit that people try to cause for us. Like, okay, we're at that point. Maybe now we can improve our life. Oh, wait, no, you can't, because the world around you changed and now everything's different. So I understand what he's saying. like, oh, you know, bad things will come, and as long as you're working towards the greatest good, at least you've worked hard to get to the point where you're kind of prepared for it. But actually, that's not true. In reality, in life, sadly, that's just not how life works at all. Things hit you out of nowhere, and you could very much be doing all the things that you thought were right, and then be faced with the fact that actually none of it was right because it was based off of preconceived notions, situational things in your environment that you don't control, right? So I think, see, I agree with some of his reasoning. I absolutely think humans should go through life trying to work towards a greatest good goal, and everything you do should have meaning. I wish more people in life had that philosophy and had that mindset. I think there's too many people out there who don't think of this kind of stuff. For example, there's literally idiots in the stream chat talking about complete unrelated nonsense, ignoring the content that we're talking about because they couldn't ever conceptualize what we're even speaking of. They don't even have that level of thought. I can tell because they're trolling and they're doing dumb shit in the chat right now. And it's like, yeah, if you're a moron, you would never ever understand what we're talking about. You make fun of it, right? But I get what he's coming from. The problem is, it doesn't matter how hard you work or how much you try. Sometimes life screws you over anyway. And I think, sadly, that's where people falter. Because they have their whole life dedicated to one thing, one plan. This is it. This is the good. And then, when things change and that's no longer possible or no longer feasible, or, you know what I mean? Now their world is crushed. And that's when you find people who, like, they find themselves in middle age with a family, with a job, and they feel stuck. Well, my whole life I was working towards what I thought was the good, but then what happened was everything around me ended up being different than what I thought it was going to be, and now here I am, and I'm miserable. And then they have a midlife crisis and stuff like that, right? So, we could sit here and we can talk big, lofty stuff like this all the time. I mean, this is the second Jordan Peterson clip in a row now we've watched, but I don't know. I don't think we want to do this every week. You know what I mean? Let's watch. There's like 30 seconds left. What's he going to say at the end here? Oh, nothing. It's over. That was literally it. Never mind. Okay, guys, that was part 2. I hope you're enjoying the show. Thanks for watching DSP versus the Internet. Much more to come. I think we have a few more ultra-level clips before we get to the open stuff. You know, the more commonly suggested things by standard members. That'll be in a randomized playlist. Thank you for watching. Thanks to those supporting. I hope you're enjoying, and I'll see you all in part 3. Thank you.